One day is a blessing, the next is a curse. But that's how it is, that's how love's supposed to feel. Like God and the devil have struck a deal. You should hurry to love him now. Oh, you should hurry to love him now. There is only one of you, only one of me. There's a million of those who won't let us be. But they're not gonna see me bleed. Cause baby, I got you. I've been beaten to the ground, dragged across the dirt. I've been scared to live cause some people never learn. But they're not gonna watch me burn. Cause baby, I got you. It's a new beginnings and a better life. It's the dancing underneath the disco lights. They can try but they can never take me down. Ooh, cause I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid to love, not afraid to love.
everybody, and welcome to this episode of Talking with the Hombre, keeping it real with the Hombre. Sorry, everything just fell over here when I reached to turn up the microphone. Hopefully you guys are all having a great week and a good Thursday. I'm happy to see you guys come join me today to talk about some tequila and agave spirits. We're gonna have a pretty good show today. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna talk about some cool things. But just to kind of give you an update on what's going on with the stuff that I do, the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. We've got some barrels coming in soon. It's going to be exciting. 2 barrels of the San Matias Gran Reserva are coming that I handpicked that are just absolutely amazing. Extra añejo that's not going to cost $300, $400, $500, $600, but under $100. Yes, under $100 for a solid extra añejo. I think it's going to be like around $65, maybe. I think. Somewhere around there. It's going to be extremely affordable and super delicious. I know these are going to sell out. We also have our Yayo single barrel repo picked already. TP4, I think is what we picked, right? For those of you that watched it on my video, the live stream that I did, selecting the barrel. So that's going to be for the collective as well. And then I just got a friend of mine. See, my life is kind of different than a lot of people out there. And then I've got a lot of friends in the tequila world, a lot of friends. And I always offer to do things for them for free to support their brands and support what they do. And of course, they like to support what I do too. So they'll put together special stuff for us too. So I just had a friend reach out to me and he's like, hey, I have a really good project that I'm about ready to embark on. That's going to be perfect for you and for the collective. It's going to be amazing. You're going to love it. I'll give you all the details in a couple weeks. So I'm excited about that, and I'll let you guys know about it when it comes up in a couple weeks, because this gentleman that I work with, he puts together a lot of really good projects, and I've really enjoyed having him. He's a really good friend of mine. He's met my wife and my family, and he's just a super awesome, nice guy. And I'm glad to call him an amigo and a good friend. And he's coming up with a really interesting project that sounds like it's going to be amazing for the collective. We'll be getting some really special stuff. So that stuff's going on with the collective. If you're interested in joining the collective, it's a really awesome community. The link is in the description below. You'll see it there. It says TBAC, which is a Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. It's a great community on Discord, but you have to kind of understand how to operate Discord if you're going into it. And if so, or you want to join, you have questions, message me. I'll walk you through stuff. But it's a really good group of people, really friendly, positive. We don't put up with any negative stuff on there. And we get some really special tequilas in. And then when the heavily allocated stuff comes into, it normally goes to those guys as my way of showing that I appreciate their support and appreciate that they support what I do. All right, so that being said, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on in the tequila world now that we're going to see happening here pretty soon. It's really cool. We're gonna start seeing a lot more tequila with older agave, because there's an abundance of agave now. Agave is getting older, so I know of a couple of projects that are coming out here really soon. There's going to be with agave that's between 8 to 10 years old. We haven't seen 8 to 10 year old agave in years because of the shortage. But yeah, there's some brands that are moving towards the older, more sweeter cooked agave. Now, I just hope it's not wasted, because this stuff's really good. It's when you have a really good agave, you hope they treat it right and all the processes and stuff, and make an exceptional tequila out of it. So we'll see. But I've had some people tell me that they've got some projects that are coming out where we're using really super mature, super sugary agave, and they said it's going to be so good. So I'm excited about that, because I always love, as for those of you that stick with me for a little bit, agave's king. And the more cooked agave flavor that a tequila has for me, the better it is. So, and in order to really understand what cooked agave tastes like, you really have to visit a distillery at some point, and when they're producing, and try the cooked agave then, because it's an unreal flavor profile. It's so good, and it's like nature's candy, and it is super enjoyable. And the more pure taste that you can get of that in a tequila, the better. So there's going to be some really interesting projects coming up. There's some amazing extra añejos coming out as well. I'll get details on that. Once I get details, of course, I'll share it with you guys. I always do. But one of the things I wanted to talk about too, but I'm going to go into to say hello to our members here that are commenting. Let me catch up on the comments that are coming through. Joseph Hammer, hola, bienvenido, welcome. Glad you can make it. Rob, hola, bienvenido, welcome from Austin, Texas. The Texans. How about that CJ Stroud, man? I love that guy. I am a big Ohio State fan, and I actually knew of him when he was here at Rancho Cucamonga High School in the Inland Empire, and now he went to Ohio State, which I'm a big Buckeyes fan. I grew up in Cincinnati, Ohio, huge Buckeyes fan, but I also like the USC Trojans. Those are like my two top teams here in college. So I followed CJ when he was with Ohio State, and I'm following him when he's with the Texans, and I'm rooting for the Texans. So I'm really hoping that they do well in the playoffs, and CJ does really well. I really wish the Cowboys would have drafted him in the draft and got him to lead the Cowboys, because I think they would have been exceptional having CJ Stroud as a quarterback. But bienvenido, Rob. Glad you can make it. I know you're a Texans fan, so I'll be cheering for you guys this weekend. Oh, hombre, I'll be popping in and out. I'm at work. Okay, Guillermo, that's no problem. Pop in and out as you wish. We're lucky to have you, and we're glad that you can make it. What's up, hombre? I see you drunk a couple of good bottles for that Cowboys game. Yeah, that Cowboys game was brutal. But, I expect it. I mean, I really honestly expected it, because being a Cowboys fan for as long as I have, I've been a Cowboys fan since, I'm trying to remember. It was Meredith, and then it was Staubach. Since Roger Staubach, I've been a Dallas Cowboys fan. And actually, since Roger Staubach, I've been through quarterbacks there: Roger Staubach, Danny White, Troy Aikman, Tony Romo, and then through all the other guys, Quincy Carter, and all these other guys that were interim quarterbacks. I've been with that team since before we won the Super Bowls. All during the Super Bowl time when Jimmy Johnson was the coach, and Jerry Jones took over from, I think it was his name, the guy that owned the Cowboys before. But Tom Landry was the coach, and his firing and stuff like that. So I've been through all of that. So this was nothing that happened this last weekend, that isn't something that I've already been through before as a Cowboys fan. We take a lot of crap from people, and that's okay, because, but it is my team. I do love them, and they're keeping Mike McCarthy, and they're keeping Dak. And so I'm like, okay, well, I guess we're going to have another season of this. I hope not. I hope they turn things around. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt a lot of times. So I want to see what they do with the draft and how they shore things up. And maybe Dan Quinn will be gone. That defense gave up way too much. There was receivers that are having picnics all by themselves out in the middle of the field. I'm like, what's going on here? But I did polish off a lot of good tequila that day. And thankfully, I had a beautiful reposado in the Malavida reposado, which, if you haven't tried that, you owe yourself a taste. It's really good. So I drank the rest of my bottle of Malavida, and then started tapping into the Yayo Repo Single Barrel number 7, which is an epic barrel pick that we had from last year's Single Barrel Repo. For those of you that tried the number 7, it is exceptional. And what was funny, because we had a bunch of people that would join the collective to get that barrel, because that was for an exclusive tequila barrel and agave collective. So they joined that to get the barrel, because they already had like some of the other barrels, and everybody that had all the other barrels and tried them said that our barrel by far was the best. And I agree, it was. It was really good. Miguel says, awesome. Yes. Thanks. Leo says, good morning, hombre. Was able to purchase 2 bottles for the collective members. Extra Neho. I can be greedy. LOL. Yes, Leo, you can, anything that's in the collective section when you're a member, you can purchase. So that's good. And we're, I guess, glad to have you as a member if you're a member of the collective. Hook 'em. Yeah, hook 'em. Hook 'em, right? And that's the way it goes. Hook 'em. Go Lions. Okay, yeah, the Lions time's going to be it's going to be limited, so be careful. Cowboys cheated the Lions. No, nobody cheated the Lions. The refs felt sorry for the Cowboys and gave it to them. The Cowboys, everything that was wrong with the Cowboys this year was, there was a lot of things that went good for them, but it was wrong. I mean, the call with the Lions, first of all, they called tripping against the Cowboys, which was clearly against Detroit, so they would have never got the ball. So there's that whole argument there. But the fact, too, that we should have been a 5th seed in the playoffs, but the Eagles literally just died. The Eagles, like, literally just crapped the plate. They just crapped everything. And basically put the Cowboys in the number 2 seed. The Cowboys should have never been a number 2 seed. They did not deserve a number 2 seed. But we got it because the Eagles were just so bad this year. So nobody cheated them. Well, Hombre, can you recommend me an añejo for a non-tequila drinker and an añejo for a tequila nerd? I want to bring a couple of bottles to a golfing weekend. Oh, sure. For non-tequila drinkers, grab a bottle of the San Matias Gran Reserva. It should run you $55, $50, $40 maybe. It's a really good extra añejo, really nice flavor profile, and good for people that aren't serious tequila drinkers, but it's also good for those that are tequila nerds. So it's great for both. I love the San Matias Gran Reserva. Matter of fact, we're doing 2 90 proof barrels for the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. It's good stuff. And then if you want a really good añejo, for somebody who's a whiskey drinker and likes that kind of flavor profile and stuff and wants something that's complex and deep and rich, I recommend going with the Nuevo Uno Batch Nuevo Uno Añejo Deep. It's a really good añejo, one of the best añejos I believe on the market. It's really good. Some other ones that I like, the Malavida Añejo, super good, really delicious. El Mexicano Añejo, very good, extremely delicious. These are things too that you don't hear about all the time. I mean, everyone can say G4 Añejo or, you know, all the brands, Siete Leguas Añejo. You can say these brands all the time, but I like giving exposure to brands that you don't hear about all the time that that deserve to get recognition. Okay, these are the ones that won't pay for people to talk about them and stuff. But they're ones that are really good that I found that I like to support because they're doing things right and they deserve to get recognized, and they you guys deserve to taste these things. So they're really good. So El Mexicano Añejo is super good. So I recommend that as well. So check those out. Those are some good options to start. And if you like some of those, come back and I'll give you some recommendations on some other stuff. All right. Yes, that's correct. The NFC East just died. It just died. It's horrible. You need to Dak. You need to dump. Yeah, I know. I've been yelling. They need to Dak. They need to dump Dak. They need to dump McCarthy. I was hoping they would have dumped McCarthy and picked up Jim Harbaugh from Michigan, and then dumped Dak. Although you know he's got a $60 million cap handle or something like that hit this year. So because Jerry paid him way too much, so you know I was hoping they would bring like Jim Harbaugh in, and Harbaugh's a quarterback guy, and have him develop like maybe Trey Lance or recruit somebody or draft somebody in the draft and have him develop them and have him be the future of the team. But they decided to stay with McCarthy, and I'm sure Dak's not going anywhere. So. Hope you had a good. I did have a good stogie. I had a Monte Cristo, really good. So, yeah, I definitely was feeling pretty good, even though the game was so horrible. Cheers, Mark and everybody. Hey, Tater Dom, bienvenido, welcome. Hey, is that a new picture for you, Tater Dom? That's kind of interesting stuff there. I joined the collective, but don't know how to use it. I know there's a password, but not sure where to go with it. The password, if you go to the Tequila Barrel and you go to Ferment and Still, you look on Ferment and Still, there's a section on there that says exclusive Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. area, you click on that and it takes you to the area where you use the password. And then put the password in there and it takes you into the area that's exclusive for the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. So that's basically it. It's really simple. Just go to Ferment and Still, look up in the top left, and you'll see it says exclusive area for the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. Click on that. It'll prompt you for a password. You put this month's password in, and then it shows you all the stuff that's exclusive for the collective. Nobody else in the general public can see it. So you can go there and check that out. It's easy. And if you ask anybody on the Discord, just say, hey, I don't know how to find out where the login section. People there will tell you too. They're pretty good about helping everybody out. I gave the 3 añejos from 123 to some non-tequila drinkers, which they liked. Yeah, 123, the Trace añejo is very good. Very good. Everything from 123 is really good. Great. Okay, yeah, no problem. Yes, sir. New Year's, new me, Mark, a new hair conditioner. Oh, nice. That's awesome. All right, so some things I want to talk about today. One of the things I wanted to talk about, and I might go on a rant a little bit on this. I see a lot of people that say, I'm a repo drinker, or I'm an añejo drinker, or I'm an extra añejo drinker. And I just kind of cringe every time I hear that because it's kind of incorrect. It's incorrect to use that term to say I'm a repo drinker. And the reason being is because there's no set definition of like what flavor profile a repo, an añejo, or extra añejo have. All those do are indicate amount of time in a barrel. Okay, so you can have a repo that sits in a barrel between 2 to 11 months, let's say, because it's from 2 to 11 months that you can call it a repo. So you can have a tequila that sits in a barrel between 2 and 11 months. And you can have ones that come out because if the barrel's like distressed, been used a lot for bourbon or whiskey or whatever, you can have it come out where it has hardly any influence from the barrel at all. Or you can have it come out where it's got a lot of influence from the barrel and is super rich in flavor profile. And so there's añejos and extra añejos that are in distressed barrels that have hardly any influence from the barrel at all. And some of the times they don't keep it put it out as a repo because there was like nothing from the barrel and they needed to leave it in the barrel longer in order to get some of the influence from the barrel that they wanted. So you can have an extra añejo that barely has any barrel presence in it, and you can have a repo that tastes just as complex and rich as some extra añejos. Like, for example, a Zunia repo. That's a really rich barrel-influenced repo, and it's really delicious. So you could drink that and say, well, this tastes like an añejo. Well, it may taste like some añejos, but some añejos taste like repos, and some extra añejos taste like repos. As a matter of fact, one of the interesting things in the laws on how tequila is produced, this is going to freak people out, is I can age a tequila in a barrel for 3 years, okay? I can age it for 3 years, and I can take it out, and then I could bottle that, and I could call it a repo. I could call it a reposado if I want. Because according to the norma, you can call any of the older tequilas a younger one up to repo. You can't call it a blanco. So if I have a tequila that's aged for 1.5 years, I could say this is a repo and call it a repo. And they did that with Siembra Azul. Did it with the Aniversario. David Suro did it where he put añejo and extra añejo in a bottle and called it a reposado. And it's in the Aniversario, the 10th anniversary repo. It's actually añejos and extra añejos mixed into it. So to say I'm a repo drinker, it's not exactly correct. You may like a lot of repos or mostly repos, but what I would say, I would change the phrase to like, I like my tequila to have more agave and less barrel influence. And then you by saying that, people can say, okay, well, I know good añejo that fits that. I know good repo. So you can get a lot of different options and expand what you're trying instead of limiting yourself to just repos, because you can buy a repo and go, wow, this is way too much barrel. And it tastes like an añejo. But you can't say it tastes like an añejo because there's no definitions on what an añejo has to taste like. Does that make sense? Think about that. Think about that when you look at a bottle. This is an extra añejo. So this is aged for 40 months. So 40 months over 3 years, right? But if I as a brand owner wanted to, I could put this into a bottle and call it a repo. I could call it a repo. And then you could buy it thinking you're like, I like repos. You buy it and you go, yeah, okay, that's delicious. You're really drinking an extra añejo. So instead, think of a different thing, like what you like about it, and use that to describe what you like versus saying repo, añejo, or extra añejo. And that's kind of the way to approach it. So when I talk to brands, I don't go, yeah, I normally drink repos, or I don't normally drink añejo. I drink repos, I drink blancos, high proof blancos, repos, and añejos, extra añejos. I drink it all. But the ones that I enjoy the most are the aged expressions that have a lot of the cooked agave up front and have a nice balance of barrel presence, right? I don't want it overly oaked. I don't want it overly heavy on the barrel presence. I want it blended. I want it blended nicely so I get that really beautiful cooked agave note up front, but then get some nice barrel presence and stuff to it too. I enjoy it. I enjoy it that way. So when I tell people, yeah, I'd like to try your extra nail, does it have a lot of agave up front? Sometimes they'll go, it's really oak heavy. And I'm like, yeah, that's not going to be something for me. So I'll pass on that one. But do you have one that's more agave? And they'll say, yeah, try this one. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's definitely in line with what I like. And so then you can find a lot more stuff that way that you can get your hands on and try and enjoy versus limiting yourself to just repos. Because repos, all that means is it's been in a barrel between 2 and 11 months. Yeah, up to 11. Because once you hit 12 months, it becomes an añejo. So, or it's like, if I want to, I can call it an añejo or an extra añejo a repo as well. So, it's better to describe it that way. And then you'll get exposed to a lot more different things than just saying, I'd only drink repos. Joseph says, I like my tequila without any barrel. I'm a Blanco drinker. There you go. Okay. That's perfectly fine. I love Blancos too, but I do love a good aged expression because Blancos, honestly, there's so many Blancos out there and they become so much alike. They're so bland. They've gotten bland, seriously. And what happens is, because of industrialization, because of the use of steam, tequila is not nearly as flavorful as it was when they were using fire to cook it, the agave. It's gotten bland because of the industrialization of it. So a lot of times it's like, okay, yeah, a lot of them taste the same. And there's, the only difference is really is fermentation notes that may come into it. But is that what you really are looking for, is fermentation notes? Because if so, then you could drink vodka, or you could drink whiskey, you could drink other things that, and white moonshine or whatever, anything that has fermentation notes in it. But for me, it's cooked agave. It's cooked agave, cooked agave, cooked agave. It's not fermentation notes. And so I look for how rich the cooked agave notes are on it and go with that. And so you'll see when I do reviews, a lot of them are 4 agaves because they're good. The ones that are become 5 agaves are the ones that really blow up the cooked agave notes for me, but also offer a different experience as far as what other brands offer in the fermentation notes and the light cooked agave notes, because Blancos seriously are bland. And for those of you that are like, what is he talking about, bland? Well, if you jump into the Mezcal world and start diving down the Mezcal rabbit hole, you'll see what kind of world can open up to you as far as flavor profiles go. so many different flavor profiles and so many different flavors that you can get from the agaves and stuff that they use, that it's ridiculous. And they're using the smoke, they're using the fire, to cook it, because they're doing it old school, because these guys are doing it in small palenques in their back. They can't afford industrial boilers to make steam. So they do it the old-fashioned way, the way their family's been doing it for generations. And when you start diving into the mezcal world, there's a lot more flavors, a lot more excitement in the flavor world than what tequila has to offer. Although tequila's good, the flavor's good, but they're getting to the point now where it's all tasting pretty much like each other. So I do enjoy a good tequila. I love the flavor profile, Weber Blue Agave. I prefer when they use smoke for it. So when I can find a good ancestral tequila or a good mezcal that has Weber Blue in it, I enjoy that probably more because of the flavor profile that you get from it. So it's good. And once you dive down the mezcal world, or if you decide to embark in the mezcal journey, I'm going to tell you, a lot of times when you're going from the bland tequila world into mezcal, you're going to have to prep yourself. You're going to have to be prepared for what you're jumping into. You may like it right off the bat. It's going to be different than what you're used to. So it may take you some time to develop a palate for it. So for me, it's like when I first tried mezcal, it tasted like licking a burnt truck tire. And I was like, I'm not drinking this. But fortunately, I had a really good mentor who's like, no. Let me instruct you. Let me help you. So, okay. And so he guided me through my education on mezcal and gave me stuff to try. And then I started really learning to appreciate it and develop the palate for it. So now I can drink a lot of different mezcals and really enjoy it. I have a whole shelf here of mezcals that I enjoy that are really good. So if you ever decide that you want to expand your flavor profile and grow your palate, let me know and we can start doing some more mezcal videos. But right now when I do mezcal videos, no one watches them because it's like everyone just wants tequila and not mezcal. So it's unfortunate because you can find some really good stuff. And yeah, some mezcals are getting expensive because they're such small batches and stuff. But it gives you a change from tequila. And I always enjoyed, like, I'll take a break from tequila for a little while and drink mezcal, and then I go back to tequila, and then I find, okay, I enjoy tequila more when I get a break from it for a little while. And so I enjoy doing that. El Mexico, bienvenido, welcome. Glad you can make it, buddy. Joseph says, I prefer high proofs that are agave forward, like Carrera. Yep, Carrera 54 is extremely agave forward. I love that, but you guys know it because I talk about it all the time, so I'm not going to talk about it again. I like all tequila you recommend from Blanco to XA. Oh, good. I'm glad you're enjoying them. There's a lot of good tequilas out there, but when you're ready to take the dive into mezcals, let me know. Cheers. Salud. Salud, Bourbon Baller. Lee. Bienvenido. Welcome. Glad you can make it. Tim says, hey, hombre, I recently found some dark chocolate, 60% cocoa or more, to explode flavor profiles of tequila. I know it sounds off, but I drink tequila and dark chocolate all the time. So I've already been way past that. I'm a huge dark chocolate fan. So yeah, I've got a dark chocolate collection from around the world. I've got it from Belgium. I got it from Mexico. I got it from Africa. I got it from the US, from Europe, from Italy. I got dark chocolate from all over the place. And that's one of the reasons why you and I love dark chocolate with a good port too. So, but yeah, I'm all over that whole dark chocolate thing. So where was I? Let me see. Hombre recently found dark. Love that stuff. Hammer. We're waiting 2 bottles to be delivered. There you go. Rob, cancel. In between your sips. Yeah, of course. Where was it? No, he said in between your sips. There we go. All right. Whoops, what happened? Tim, that's not moving here. Hold on. There it is. In between your sips, of course. Okay. I came to tequila from gin, not whiskey, like most people. I think that's why I don't care about the barrel aged expressions as much. I do love good mezcal as well. Nice. Have you tried, Joseph? I've got a thing for you. Have you tried the mezcal gin? It's really good. Here, let me pull the bottle out. This is a good recommendation for you if you like gin. Yeah, it's called Mezcal Gin, MG, here. And here's the botanicals that they use. That's on the other side here. There's all the botanicals that they use on this. So, this is really good. It's really good. My friend Alejandro, his company makes it. I've been invited, and I'm going to set up a time where I'm going to do a trip down to his Palenque, or his Venata, they call them Venatas, his Venata. And I'm going to spend like a week there probably, or like 4 or 5 days, helping make mezcal and then also filming stuff for content. And if some of you want to join, I wouldn't be opposed to bringing some members with me to do this. But you would spend several days down there, staying at the hacienda there at the Venata, at the distillery, and helping them produce mezcal there. They have different mezcals that they do. They have ancestrals and artesanals, and learning about their processes and seeing about where they're at, because they're in Durango, Mexico, which is kind of a cool area. And so we'd have a good time learning about that. And then, of course, I'd be shooting content for the channel as well. But if somebody like that, if you guys are interested as members in joining me, I may take some members with me on that, and when I set it up with Alejandro. But this mezcal gin is really good. I really enjoy it. This is like my 3rd bottle of it. I like sipping it by itself, but you can make some really nice cocktails with it. When Alejandro came here, they were doing a presentation. He invited me to come join him, so I joined him for the presentation and got to try some cocktails that they had a bartender make with the mezcal gin, and it was really good. So it was really good. What good mezcal? Well, it depends. I gotta kind of find out where you're at flavor wise and stuff, and then make a recommendation. So hit me up on the Discord, Rob. I know you remember there, and I'll walk you through some stuff and make some recommendations. But the starter beginner stuff I normally like to recommend is the stuff that we got for the collective, because those were basically tailored towards tequila drinkers moving into mezcal. So there's a Vago special tequila barrel and agave collective edition up on Ferment and Still, as well as the La Luna, which is made with Weber Blue agave. So it's the same as tequila, the same agave. And it's delicious. It's super rich flavor profile. We have that on the on Ferment and Still too. You can find it under La Luna Temporada. But it's ancestral. Just so look like, if you're gonna search La Luna ancestral, and you'll see it there. It says TBAC special edition. Those were hand selected by me because they fit the flavor profile for tequila drinkers really well. What's up, Hombre? Happy New Year to you too, Michael. Glad you could make it. Gonna definitely try it. Thanks. You're welcome. Yeah, definitely try it. Pick it up. It's available all over. You can order it everywhere. I think we still have it in stock on Ferment and Still too, if you want to order it from there. But you can find it all over the place. Mexico says, I'm waiting on my staves to try and replicate Tapatio Excellency. Oh, nice. Yeah, the Tapatio came out so good. I drank it quickly. It was done. You'd be down for the trip? Okay, but I'm only going to bring members. So I haven't decided if it's Tequila Barrel or Agave Collective members or YouTube members, but they'll be selected from maybe both of them. But I'm only going to bring members because I need to bring people that I know and that I know aren't going to do anything that's going to be detrimental to my relationship with Alejandro and his people there. I really like the brand. I like the relationship I have with them. So I'm sure you can understand that. I tried Los Siete Misteros. It's not bad. Yeah, no, that's okay. Mezcal. It's not a great one. There's a lot of other ones that I prefer over that. Got any reviews on Reserva de Gonzalez? I think I did. I did a video on Mexico only tequilas, and I talked about it. It's made by it's made by Lalo's dad. So you know Lalo Gonzalez from Lalo Tequila? His dad made Reserva de Gonzalez. That's his brand. So it's basically Don Julio's son. It's really good tequila. It's just not imported into the U.S. So you can't go wrong with it. I have the Extra Añejo, the Blanco, and I think I have an Añejo on the shelf over here. Every time I go to Mexico, I always grab some and bring it back with me. So it's good stuff. I was at a recent tasting for tequila, and someone offered me El Hogorio Tobala Mezcal. Pricey, but amazing and complex compared to what Volans I was drinking. Yes! They're super complex. Yeah. Yeah, and Tobala is really good. Tobala is super fruity. It has a really nice sweet fruit flavor profile that I really like. I'm a big fan of Tobala, and Tobala is more of a wild agave too, so that's why it's pricier. It's because they're not farming the agave. They have to harvest it from growing wild, and then they also have to be careful about not over harvesting it because they don't want to deplete the wild agave, so there isn't any available for future. So they don't make a whole lot of it when they do, and that's why it's more expensive. So they're small, really small batches, but Tobala Mezcal is tasty. Oh, you remember the collective? Okay, cool. Okay. Oh, Joe Tequila. Okay, got it. All right. I don't know because you guys all use different handles. I don't know who's who most of the time. But yeah, absolutely. If when we set it up, I'll let you guys know, and then if you want to come, you're more than welcome. You just have to fly out there yourself and meet us there at the airport. We'll try to arrange flights and everything so we all arrive at the at Guadalajara or arrive at one of the airports in that area close by together, and then we'll work our transportation from there. They were going to set something up to get us to the distillery. Who here had the Flecha Azul? I'm against celebrity spirits, but the Blanco Repo were actually good. It's okay. I did a review on the Flecha Azul. I didn't think it was that great. It has a weird aftertaste to it. So I didn't think it was that good. If you want to try a one that I think is better, I prefer more, try the Santo Fino tequila from Sammy Hagar and Guy Fieri. They corrected my pronunciation on Fieri. It's not Fieri, it's Fieri. So the way it's pronounced is like Fee and Eddie. So Fieri. So it's Guy Fieri. Just for you know, so you guys know. When I did the interview with Sammy Hagar, I mentioned Guy a couple times, and then the gentleman that set up the interview was also on the call, but you guys couldn't see him or hear him. But he came on later and said, "Oh, by the way, when you talk about Guy, it's Guy Fieri. He throws a fit when people say Fieri, so it is Fieri." But that's the Santo Fino line is a good line. I recommend it. I like it more than Flecha Azul. You can like Flecha Azul more. That's fine. But I didn't particularly care too much for Flecha Azul. But there's a lot of tequilas that come out of 1110 though. The Tequila Orandine that I'm really not a fan of. I don't really, I haven't really liked some of a lot of their newer stuff. The old stuff they used to do out of Orandine was really good. But the new stuff, we just had a fighter plane flying over the house. Whole place was... They fly F-35s over here. So it's like... So try Santo Fino. It's I think one of the better celebrity tequilas. And then another one is the Malavida, which is owned by Alex Gonzalez, who's the drummer for the group Maná. That blows Flecha Azul, in my opinion, that blows Flecha Azul out of the water. It's really good. How does everyone like Mandala? Is an additive tequila, so if you like sweet stuff, it's good, but it's not natural. It's an adulterated flavor profile. But there's a lot of people that like the sweet tequila, and if you do, that's fine. There's no one's gonna hate you or say anything bad about you because of it. No one should. And if someone does, then they're wrong. And that's one thing too. There's a lot of people that tequila. Now, one of the things that on the Discord. I think it was Rob. I think it was Rob that said it, but somebody said that the high that they get from tequila is different than what they've gotten from other spirits. It is. It definitely is. It's more of a happier drunkenness or high that you get from it. Tequila is a very happy spirit. It's really hard to be angry or upset drinking tequila. It is. And so it surprises me every day how much hate that there is from people in the tequila world. It's like, why? Why do you need to be that way? If somebody likes additive tequila, let them enjoy additive tequila. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. If they want to try the natural stuff that doesn't have additives, great. Let them try it. Let them make their determination on what they want, what they don't like. But there's so many people that think, oh, I'm the experts. I'm the person that knows better than you, and they get rightfully called snobs and stuff, which they basically are. But then they go, oh, I'm not a snob. I'm a purist. It's like, oh no, you're not a purist. You're not a purist, and you're not a nice person. Because nice people don't make fun of other people and don't have negativity like that. If they want to enjoy sweeter and adulterated tequila, let them. That's fine. It's their prerogative. They can do whatever they want. But if they want to try the natural stuff too, that's great. I'm not a big proponent of additive use, but if people like it and want to use it and want to drink it, that's fine. Now, one of the things too about additives, and I keep going over this, I think I've probably said it ad nauseum, is that drinking, believe it or not, when you're drinking an aged expression, you're drinking additives, okay? Whether you like it or not, whether you understand it or not, you're drinking additives. And that was a point that the CRT tried to make by saying 98% of the freaking tequila out there has additives in it. And it just means that there's stuff added to it by putting it in a barrel, okay? You put Blanco in a barrel, you're adding whiskey, you're adding wine, you're adding whatever was in the barrel to it. That's an additive. You're adding components from the wood into it. That's an additive. So you're adding, from the wood itself, you're adding vanillin, which is vanilla flavoring. You're adding other notes from the wood, chocolate and caramel flavoring. You're adding all kinds of stuff. Anything else that was in the wood, you're adding in the color, the caramel coloring. You're adding that from the wood into the tequila. And then if there's any whiskey or wine or bourbon or scotch or anything else that was in that barrel, you're adding it into the tequila. So you're adding additives in there. It's not science. It's not done in a lab where somebody's saying, okay, we just need a little bit more of this to make this taste better. But a lot of the components that they're adding are natural components anyways. They're just, natural additives that they add in to make it taste a little better because the flavor profile may have been off coming out of the barrel, or they want to keep the flavor consistency the same. I don't like it being doctored. I like the natural taste without having excessive amounts of it. And so the people that can do that right are the ones that I typically prefer. I don't like sweet tequila. I don't like stuff too sweet. When I first started drinking tequila, though, I liked the sweet stuff. The sweet stuff is what got me to say, okay, this isn't so bad. But then as I started drinking the stuff without the additives, I enjoyed that more. And now I can't tolerate really the sweet stuff. But there's people out there that prefer the sweet stuff. I just sat with a waiter yesterday in a restaurant here in Riverside, and he was telling me he likes Cristalinos and stuff, and that's great. Because he's drinking tequila, and eventually he may decide, hey, I want to try something else that's more natural. And if he does and enjoys it, then great. He's trying more natural tequila, additive-free stuff. But too many people make additives the boogeyman, not knowing that by drinking a Repo and a Añejo or an extra, you're really drinking additives by definition, because there's stuff being added to a Blanco to make it taste better. And if you ask anybody, any producer out there, the best way to hide any flaws for your Blanco is to age it. It's to age it. That's what aging does. You put it in a barrel and it'll take some of your flaws of your Blanco out. It hides it. So it's the same thing as using additives. It's just with using additives, it's easier for them to maintain a flavor profile, consistent flavor profile, instead of having different lotes taste differently. But for me, having different lotes taste differently is kind of fun. I don't mind that at all. All right, I should get my bottle of El Luchador Añejo and that Viva Mexico today from Ferment and Still today. Can't wait to get home to try it. Oh, nice. The Luchador Añejo is delicious. I love it. And the Viva Mexico is fantastic. Everything that they do at, well, mostly everything. There's a couple of brands that they do at 1414 that I don't particularly care for. Was me. Okay, it was you. Okay, I thought it was you. You feel like James Bond when you drink good. Yeah, well, it makes you feel good. It makes you feel happy. I get a happy buzz from it when I drink it, and it makes you feel happy. So I don't understand why there's so many people that have to jump into the hate game and be hateful to people. I don't understand that. It doesn't make sense. So people, just be nice. Seriously, if you don't have anything nice to say about somebody, don't say anything. I'm 55 years old, and it's like a lot of the kids on here, the people on here that are part of this, some of them are 50, 60 years old, but they act like they're 13. And it's like, yeah, you need to stop this. You need to act like you're an adult. And I know it's easy to do because you can hide behind a screen name and you can just be a total jerk and nobody will know who you really are. But there's no need for that. No need for it at all. It doesn't make you look cool or funny. It makes you look like a jerk. So just don't do it. If people like Mandala or like other additive tequilas and want to drink it, then great. Enjoy it. Salud. Drink to health. But let's not be angry. Let's not be insultive. Let's not think the worst of people all the time. And instead, let's just be happy and be nice and enjoy a really amazing spirit. What is this? I agree. Much different from whiskeys. I've been collecting and appreciating whiskeys for 8 years and started last year. It's been fun on appreciating tequila. Thank you for all the great reviews. You're welcome, Michael. I'm glad you're enjoying them. I was a bourbon drinker, and I used to get angry drinking bourbon. I don't know why, but if I drank too much bourbon, I got angry, and I think it's because I felt uncomfortable drinking it. I didn't mind the flavor profile, but it's so hot sometimes that it just burns everything going down into your stomach, and you can feel your stomach heating up from it and stuff. And I think it put me in a bad mood. I didn't really enjoy sitting down with a good whiskey or bourbon that much. I do with tequila. So I've become more of a tequila drinker. I was a beer guy before. I drank a lot of beer, and I used to brew homebrew beer, and I'm a national champion homebrewer. So I know a lot about fermentation and processes and stuff. I've experimented with all kinds of fermentation things, even on the tequila side, and even learned about distillation and stuff from some of the best distillers in Mexico when I'm there, talking about distillation curves and stuff with them. And I can sit and talk, technical with a lot of the guys there. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You need a new hobby if you're going to hate on somebody for their choice of a beverage. I agree. And there's no reason to hate on anybody for anything in the tequila world. Seriously. Whether it's their choice of beverage, whether you don't like something they do, or it's like, just who cares? Move on. Get a life. Do something with your time that's constructive. Do something that's going to be productive. If you don't have anything else to do and you feel like the only thing you need to do is insult people or make stuff up about them or pass rumors or do all kinds of stuff, buy a book and read a book, because a book will at least kind of make you a better person, hopefully, if it's a self-improvement book. But buy a book and read it. Just shut your hole. Seriously, be nice. There's too much negativity in the world about other things. There's wars going on. People are getting killed. We don't need to be fighting each other over tequila and tequila reviews and tequila, what people choose in tequila. Just chill out. Take it easy. We're adults. There's plenty of room in the world for all of us with all our different choices, all the different things we like to do. Just shut up. Because when you're ripping on people and insulting them, it's not making the person that you're ripping on look bad. It's making you look bad. So just don't do it. Was that Hombre's point about not being an ass to people over additives? Most people got into tequila via Clase Azul, which is, we scoff at now, but it's got its place, and it does have its place as a gateway tequila. Clase Azul does, Don Julio, 1942 does, even Clave de Oro, Additive, all those have their place as a gateway tequila, and there's a lot of people that like that flavor profile, and hey, they're drinking tequila, they're drinking tequila, so it could be worse, right? But they enjoy it. Let them enjoy it. My goal here, when I do my reviews and my stuff, is not to tell people that you're drinking the wrong stuff. It's to tell people, this is what I enjoy as an aficionado, as somebody who's experienced as a tequila drinker. This is what I enjoy, and this is why I enjoy it. And maybe you should try it and enjoy it too. And there's a lot of people out there that have kind of similar flavor, similar flavor profiles as myself. And they enjoy a lot of stuff I recommend too, which is great. I love helping people find new things. And I have master distillers and tequileros all over Mexico that message me all the time. My phone goes crazy all the time saying, hey, I've got a new brand out. I want you to try it. It's great. And so they send me stuff for review. I do the review. I don't charge them for it because if it's good, I want you guys to know about it and be able to support the brand by picking it up and trying it yourself and trying stuff that's different. Stuff that not everybody's talking about, right? Stuff that helps other distilleries, other master craftsmen that are doing things right. And so that's what I do. I'm all about helping the brands. I'm all about helping the brands and helping people like you find some of these brands out there that are delicious, that are good. Like how many times have you guys heard about El Mexicano? How many people have heard about the brand El Mexicano? You don't see a lot of posts about El Mexicano on Instagram or on TikTok, or you won't see people like some of the influencers out there talk about El Mexicano because they don't pay for influencers, which is good. They shouldn't. They don't need to. Yet I did a review. I did my top tequilas of 2025 or 2023. Sorry, top tequilas of 2023. And I featured El Mexicano as my brand of the year because it just last year was when it kind of relaunched with the new taste flavor profile. And the stuff they do at that distillery is amazing. And that whole line has beautiful expressions from all the way from the low proof to the high proof Blanco to the Repo, Añejo, and Extra Añejo. It's delicious. It's really good. And the family behind it are super passionate about tequila. And I highly recommend trying the brand if you haven't tried El Mexicano. It's really good. And the Banuelos family are super nice people, but they had no clue that I was doing it. They had no clue I was including that in my video. None at all. And so I sent them the review, and they're so thankful. One of the sons is going to meet with me when he comes here to say thank you. And I know most of the family there. I met them on my tours and stuff, learning about the brand and learning about the family and what they do. It's a great brand. So if you haven't tried it, check out El Mexicano. It's really good. I enjoy it. And they use for those of you that like the aged expressions, it's a blend of American and French oak. So they age them both and blend them together, and they do a good job with it. It's really flavorful and is a wonderful flavor profile. Yeah, bourbon and cognac when I drank bourbon, I was angry. So I didn't like that. And a lot of times I had indigestion and had to pop Tums and stuff, and it wasn't a good experience for me. So I'm glad I moved on. So, oh, you're a craft beer guy that got into whiskey a few years ago, and now into tequila just within the last month. It's super fun trying new and experiment. Yeah, there you go. See, I was a craft beer national champion home brewer. I won a gold medal at the national homebrew competition in 2009, category 22. It was for vegetable and spiced beers. I won for a pumpkin spiced saison that I did. It was my holiday beer. It was so good. but it won gold medals through all the different rounds, all the way up to national championship. So that's my my experience in the beer world. And then I moved to bourbon, and then to tequila when we have a timeshare in Mexico. So I was in Cabo and I started doing tequila tasting. And of course, in Cabo, all they try to sell you is all that sweet stuff. But I was like, oh, this is good. And then, you got to watch in Cabo because they try to hit you with the tourist tax. Like, this bottle's $300. And if you're like, it's $65 normal every place else. I could buy it for $65 in the U.S. So don't let them scam you if you're in Cabo going to the tequila shops. Look at them and go, come on, I'll give you $50 for it. And a lot of times they'll come down on it. But they try to take advantage of the tourists there. So, yeah, so if somebody likes the additive stuff, let them like it. The waiter yesterday, I didn't say to him, well, you like crap tequila. No, I just said, that's great. I said, Cristalinos, they carbon filter them to make them softer and more approachable for people that that like stuff sweet and a little on the bland side, but really approachable and kind of smooth. That's what Cristalinos are all about. And he's like, yeah, that's what I like about it. It's got a lot of good chocolate flavor to it. I go, yeah, then you're drinking the right stuff, And we had a really nice conversation about tequila, and he does not drink the same stuff I prefer, but it's perfectly fine. We were good with that. I told him, if you enjoy it, keep drinking it, keep enjoying it. But what I'd like to do is expose you to some other stuff to try and see if maybe we can find something that's more mainstream tequila, that's less expensive, and you may find that you enjoy the flavors better. Are you open for that? He's like, yeah. So he actually subscribed to the channel now as a subscriber, and we're going to look to maybe do some tequila events at the restaurant there, which I think should be a lot of fun. So for those of you that are in the Southern California area, I'm going to try to put together some meetups where we'll do some stuff with some brands. So keep your eyes posted on the Discord and on social media. Here on the YouTube, I'll talk about it, but also on Instagram, I'll post about it. So if you're interested in doing a meetup and getting in on some tequila tastings with some brands and stuff, keep your eyes open. We'll do that, and we'll be able to meet you guys and have some conversations in person. Because I'm one of the only. I don't like calling myself an influencer. I like calling myself like an educator. But I'm one of the only YouTube guys that opens myself up and has conversations with people like this, and lets you guys ask questions and answers questions for you. And if I don't know the answers, I'll find them. I don't think I know everything, but I do know a lot of people that can get me the answers. So, Beyond Barrels just showed up. Hey, hola, Beyond Barrels. Was that so far? I've picked up bottles of Tequila Ocho Plata, Volcans de Mi Tierra Repo, Tres Agaves, Añejo, and Espolón Blanco. I really love each expression. Never thought of a clear spirit to sip before it. Yeah, a lot of people don't. A lot of people think Blancos are for cocktails, and that's not true. You can sip a Blanco, a white spirit, and enjoy it without putting it in a cocktail. They're super sippable. Just took delivery of 2. I'm coming over, Rob. I'm coming over. Well, I'll bring my glass. Let's go. I just got 2 bottles in too. I always, when I place an order, I always order more bottles because I don't want to make sure. But when just for people too to understand, the Carrera 54, the batch that we have on Ferment and Still, is the first batch, and it's from what I'm gathering from people that have tried the stuff that's available like in the stores now, the second batch, it's not as good as the first batch. So if you want to try what I was talking about and on the Carrera 54, pick it up from Ferment and Still, and you'll be getting the original batch. We still have the original batch, but batch 2 is hit because a lot of the retail stores that saw that I was talking so highly about it and that people were going crazy over it, and so they wanted to buy it, and so they did. So they created another second batch that they told me they weren't able to get the same flavor profile as what we did with my batch, but it was the best at what they could do. And from what I've heard from people, it's not nearly as good as the first batch. So if you still want to try the first batch, you can pick it up at Ferment and Still. And I'm not making money off of it. I don't make money off of it. We did it to help the brand. So this whole thing about two people being angry about thinking I make a ton of money off all this stuff. If I did, I wouldn't be asking you guys to join the collective and to become members to support what I do. How do I know if El Mexicano is their old, new, and improved batch? Well, if it looks like this, if that's the label, it's the new stuff. Let me see if I can get the focus. Come on, focus. There you go. If that's the label, if all the labels have this on it, it's the new stuff, okay? If the label looks like this, I have an old bottle here. Where is it? It looks really old. Let me see. Where is it? Now this looks old because it is an older bottle, but if it looks like this, that's the old stuff. So that's how you can tell the difference. Hey Ryan, we were wondering where you were. Bienvenido, welcome. Glad you could make it, buddy. We were like, everyone was like, "Where's Ryan R?" And I'm like, I don't know where he is. We're expecting him. He's got to come. Okay, what kind of name is One Poop? What is the best extra Neo for under $100? That would be the San Matias Gran Reserva, in my opinion. San Matias Gran Reserva. It's in a black bottle. I find it in most liquor stores have it. It's like $55, $50. That's the best one under $100. The rest of them are over 100, 200. Probably right closer, like probably 199, 200 in that area. But the San Matias Gran Reserva is amazing. It's French oak aged, beautiful flavor profile. They don't use additives. People accuse them of using additives all the time, and it's funny. Additives have become the boogeyman, and they shouldn't be. And it's because some people are making money off of it. That's why. You saw Carrera 54 is a liquor store, and they did a batch for Mexico. That's not the same stuff either. It's they've had it in a few boutique stores in Mexico. They have it at El Bujo, but we bought the entire batch. That was the stuff that's the good stuff. We bought the whole batch. So, and until you've tried it, you ordered it from Ferment and still haven't tried it, you're not drinking the stuff that I'm talking about, which is fine. You don't have to. Some people don't want to. They think I'm making a ton of money off it, so they're like, I'm not going to buy anything from Ferment and Still because then it just only does is feeds Hombre, and it doesn't. It doesn't. But it's okay. We're all good. Everyone's nice. Everyone's friendly. We love everybody. We accept everybody. No reason for nastiness. No reason for hate. None of that stuff. Okay. This is tequila. It's a friendly spirit. It's a happy spirit. It's a lovely spirit. It's a loving spirit. It's passion. It's about passion and culture and history. It's not about hate and ugliness. So there. I said it. All right, so let me see. What else did I want to talk about? I talked about happy spirit. We talked about being nice. We talked about reposados. Using the term saying I like reposados only. And how it's better to say what characteristics you like, because reposados can look like this. Like reposados can look like this. Can taste just like this too. This is an extra añejo, but it can look like that. Yeah, thanks for bringing up my wife there. Thanks for bringing it. Yeah, see, my wife loves additive tequila, and I love her. So there you go. See, it shows. Even the hombre loves people that likes additives. I love my wife. We just don't drink the same tequila when we're together. And I keep, so when I get an additive tequila that comes out, I'm like, yeah, this is not, it's too sweet for me. I don't like it, blah, blah, blah. This is not one I would recommend for people looking for natural tequilas. But if you somebody like a sweet additive tequila, like when I get something like that, I bring it downstairs and say, here, honey, here's another tequila for you. And we put it in the pantry for her. We have Gran Coramino. We've got Sincoro. We got 818 in the pantry for her. So, because she doesn't like normally liquor. She doesn't like hard alcohol because the burn, from the alcohol. But I taught her about prepping herself for the presence of 40% or more alcohol. So now she knows not to judge on the first sip when she wanted to have her try something. But she's like, now she's like, okay, yeah, and she's starting to appreciate the natural stuff a little more, but she still loves the sweet additive stuff. Because sometimes it doesn't burn as much too, because it has stuff in there that smooths it out, and so she likes that. What is this? I've been traveling every weekend. Don't worry, I'm still been enjoying good tequila. Going to the Lions game Sunday. All are welcome on the bandwagon. Time to root for us Lions tequila lovers. There you go. All right, good. Yeah, the Lions. Detroit Lions. They've had a rough history, so it's good that you're still a fan. You can send her your addict. No, we don't need any more. No, the Terramana. I do think we have Terramana Añejo down there in there too. And no Casamigos though. But she doesn't drink enough of it. It just sits in the pantry, but when she doesn't drink hardly any of it. She's more of a wine drinker. So if you want to send her a gift, you can send her Rombauer. She loves a good Rombauer or Chardonnay. So we're getting close to doing our group aging project. I wanted to bring that up. So for those of you that have your 2 bottles of Carrera 54 ready and your staves, I posted last time a picture of the stuff that we're using that I'm using for seasoning. I'm using a Pedro Jimenez, a sherry, and a port to soak the staves in. So I'm gonna get ready to do that, start that project. So make sure you get all your supplies ready, and then I'll let you know when we're gonna start it. I may just do a film an episode and just post it, and then you guys can do the same when you see the video go up. But I'll give you a heads up on when we're gonna start, so you guys can start soaking. Matter of fact, today I'm gonna go and soak the staves for seasoning. So I'm gonna let them go for longer than 24 hours or whatever. So I'm going to put the staves in a plastic bag with a little bit of port in one and a little bit of sherry, the Pedro Jimenez sherry in the other, and just let the staves soak in there before dropping them in for aging. I'm using one number 3 American and one number 3 French for this project. So get those together, and then we'll start the group aging project, and it should be good. So that's another thing too. I'm going to be doing another blind challenge, and so I'm going to be looking for people that are members here of the YouTube channel to be my panelists. So if you're a member on YouTube, not on the Tequila Barrel, not on the Discord, but on YouTube, if you're a member on YouTube and you want to participate, this blind challenge is going to be a French Oak Extra Añejo challenge. So it's all going to be French Oak Extra Añejos. You're not going to know what brands are in there or what's what, but they're all going to be French Oak Barrel Extra Añejos, and we're going to have fun doing a blind challenge where you guys are going to taste, the panel members are going to taste them, and then we're going to talk about the flavor profiles of them, and then you'll put them in order on which ones you like best, and then we'll see what you've selected. So if you want to participate in that, what you do is send me a message through Instagram. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it on YouTube or Instagram yet. Send me a message through Instagram saying that you're interested in doing it, and we'll take 3 panel members that are members here on YouTube. You have to be a member on YouTube, so I will check to make sure you're a member on YouTube. So send me a note tell me what your YouTube channel name is or YouTube handle, and then tell me that you're interested. And then if I pick you, I'll ask you for your mailing address and get you the samples out. And then don't drink them until the live blind challenge. So right now, let me see. Today's the 18th. Tomorrow's the 19th. The 26th. So let's look to do it. Let me see. I like Fridays for these. Let me see my calendar. Hold on. I got a lot of stuff coming up here. But let's see. Calendar. 19th, 26th. Let's do it February 2nd. I don't think I have anything on February 2nd. Let's tentatively put it down for February 2nd at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that'll be 10 Eastern. So those of you on the East Coast, you may have to stay up a little late for this. It'll probably go an hour, so till 11 o'clock East Coast time. But 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on February 2nd. So if you're interested in being a part of this, let me put French oak. Send me a note on Instagram, and then if I select you, I'll ask you for your address and stuff and let you know that you've been selected, and then we'll get the samples out to you. All right. So let's do that. You want to do a blind challenge? Okay, you know what to do. You know what to do, Rob. Cool. Ivan says, I love French oak, the challenge. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. We're going to have a good time. And it may open people's eyes a little bit too. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun. So you guys don't forget, there's 33 people on here. There's 15 likes. Come on, click the thumbs up and give me a like for sharing all this information with you guys. Putting all these really cool things together for you. What I'm going to do too is when I start doing reviews this year, I've decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, for those of you that are members on Instagram, I'm sorry, not Instagram, members on YouTube, I'm going to start randomly selecting people to get samples of some of the tequilas that I review when I get them in. So I can share the love with you guys. You guys can try some of these tequilas that I review. So if you're interested in doing that, make sure you watch the videos and then comment. And then the next video, I may select people that comment on the previous video that are members. So you have to join the channel. It's $10 a month. And I'll send you samples from whatever I reviewed. So you can try some new tequilas that way without having to buy stuff. I'm all about getting tequilas in people's hands, getting them to try things, try new things and stuff. So if I can help by doing that, I'm all for it. So, and the reason why I asked for you to be a member, because it costs me money to ship these things out. And so those that are supporting the channel and helping fund things, those are the ones I think are the ones I should be paying money to send these stuff to. I have to pay for the bottles, of course, the tequila. I have to pay for the packaging, pay for the postage. It costs money to send these things out. It doesn't get shipped for free. And the post office, it's expensive. It's expensive to ship stuff now these days. It's not cheap. So it should be fun. You're definitely that's going to be it's going to be a good, very good. It's going to be fun. You're definitely interested in some of that action. Okay, cool. Well, if you're a member on the YouTube channel, it's $10 a month. We're going to be doing a bunch of different panels, and I'll be picking samples and stuff and sending them to people too after I do reviews. So should be good. Should be a lot of fun. We're gonna have fun. I enjoyed the high proof challenge that we did, and the regular Blanco challenge, and the Añejo challenge, and even the stuff I did with Curiosity Public. That was fun too. And they said they wanted to do something else, but they haven't contacted me about it. So I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll do more stuff. I'd rather kind of do stuff with you guys anyways, and have you guys be my panelists, versus some other reviewers or stuff. But I'm always looking for, other reviewers that want to do a collab stuff. So, but we'll see. I'm definitely in for your future, Blind, but the second is not possible. Love the channel. Salute. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Doc James. I love that you love the channel. Thank you for supporting it. You guys, don't forget, there's 35 members on. Click the thumbs up. Everybody just take a second. Just grab your mouse and click the thumbs up there on the screen. Give me a like for sharing all this information, putting all this stuff together for you guys. It doesn't cost anything. And if you're new to the channel and have never watched a video before, I do this every week. I open myself up to ask questions. If you guys ask questions, we have conversations. We talk about mostly tequila stuff, but we mix other things in here occasionally. We'd love to have you join us. So click the subscribe button and the notification bell. My wife, I have to let her know I'm on the live. Hold on, I'm on the live stream, honey. She knows I do live streams at this time. So let me. Finishing live stream. There we go. Sorry, I just want to let my wife know that I will call her back. I do love my wife. She's amazing. Any agave spirits that you like me? I haven't tried any made in the U.S. I got contacted by a group that's making some here in California, and they were supposed to send me some samples, but they never did. So, so I'm looking forward to trying any of them. So hopefully, somebody will send some. But I have my qualms about whether they're gonna be as good as the stuff they're producing in Mexico. But you know, it is what it is. What is that, Jermaine? You are the man. Thanks for. Oh, hey, no, you're the man, Jermaine, for supporting me. And Jermaine is in the collective. He's a super awesome addition to the collective. He adds a lot of really good questions and stuff there and gets a lot of good conversations going. We are honored to have Jermaine as part of the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. So, Jermaine, we appreciate you, buddy. And she wanted to shout out. Yeah, that's my wife wanting you need to make a drink for her. She's not home right now. She's at work. So if I made a drink, I would have to drink it. There's people already sending notes through Instagram. Like, hey, I'll do this. So, it's getting, they're getting in quick on the extra Añejo challenge. So that's going to be fun. So I haven't decided if we should do it on YouTube or on Instagram yet. I need to figure that out. Maybe YouTube, because then we get a wider audience, I think, than on Instagram. But the only problem is I need to figure out a way to do YouTube. I have a YouTube studio set up in the garage, but I need to figure out how to do it there where I can stream from there so I can enjoy a stogie while we're doing the blunt. Because I'll drink tequila, but I'm not part of the panel. I let the panel members do all the deciding and stuff and just kind of ask them questions about what they're tasting and stuff, and then let them make their decisions. I'm just more of a moderator, so I just normally during these will drink the tequila samples along with them, but then have a stogie and just relax and talk, have conversation. We have some good conversations. There's been a lot of fun doing those. Hey, you're welcome, Jermaine. Seriously, thank you for your support. I do appreciate it. For all of you, thank you, all of you guys. I try to say this all the time. I really appreciate your support, supporting the channel, supporting what we do. There's a lot of hate out there for me, and I don't understand why, and I don't really care, because all that matters to me is there's people like you here that like what I do, appreciate my reviews, appreciate I spend time and take time to answer questions and talk to you guys, and I appreciate you guys for supporting me. I really do. I'm that kind of person where I'm very appreciative. I don't take any of you guys for granted. I don't, and I appreciate a lot of comments. I get a lot of comments on people's opinions on the YouTube channel and stuff when I do reviews, and I appreciate the alternative opinions and the and thoughts. And I normally will tell you thank you for your comment and thank you for watching, and because it really means the world to me that I have a lot of really good people like yourselves that are participating in my channel and what I do, and in my passion, participating in my passion. I appreciate that. Do you have a link to get on the collective? It's in the description here. So if you go down, you'll see it's like it says TBAC to join the TBAC. That's the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. And yeah, when you're in there, look at all the channels, because we have a lot of good. There's upcoming buys down at the bottom. That's where I post a lot of stuff on what we're doing, what we have coming in. But we get a lot of really good stuff there. And last year was a banner year for the collective, and this year is going to be even better. So I've got some really cool projects happening for the collective. I'm really excited about it, and it's a lot of fun. The group's a lot of fun, a lot of good people, and I appreciate them too. So great show, Hombre. Well, thank you, Rob, and I appreciate you and your support and stuff as well. Rob's a lot of fun too. We all have a super lot of fun. That's what I like. They hate you because they ain't you. Yeah, that's true. That's what people say, and that's fine. They hate me because I don't listen to them. You know, some of them get angry, and it's funny. They get angry because they well, he thinks he knows everything. I don't think I know everything. And then they say, well, he thinks that the only people that know what they're talking about is the master distillers. And they go, well, what better source information can you get than the people that are actually making it? Not the people that are on Reddit or any of these other places that are making stuff up. They're making stuff up. And so they get upset about that. So, well, thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that. So I appreciate you guys getting through all that stuff and still supporting the channel and being here and talking with me about tequila. I could do this forever. I've spent normally I only do this for an hour. This is gonna be an hour and a half for this show. So I appreciate you guys asking the questions and being here and helping me with doing what I love. I appreciate that. I really do. All right. So any other questions before we call this a day? I do have some reviews that are going to be coming up. I promised somebody on the collective I was going to do a review of the Don Fulano 20th. I do have a bottle of that, so I will be doing a review of that. I've got some other reviews I'm going to be cranking along. You guys have to bear with me for a little bit. I'm on some new medication now that I'm taking it's brand new, so I'm trying to see how things work with it first. But it shouldn't interfere with my tequila drinking, so that should be good. But I'm going to still try to get some reviews done this weekend for next week. So look for those. So make sure you subscribe if you want to see the reviews. And then I'm going to do some, I need to do another budget brand video. So I've got some budget brands I want to tell you guys about. That's going to be fun. Stuff that you normally don't hear about. It's not going to be your normal budget stuff that most people talk about. It's going to be stuff that most people don't talk about, like I did with Pueblo Viejo. You don't hear a lot of people talking about Pueblo Viejo, but that's a fantastic brand, budget brand. It's delicious, and it's so good. You can sip it and enjoy it as a sipper if you just want to look for something budget-wise. So I'm going to do another budget tequila, and then I'm going to do another top countdown tequila of top, but I haven't thought about which one I want to do yet. So we're going to mix it up and get some more content out for you guys to enjoy. And it should be fun. So like the video. Yeah, it's definitely click the thumbs up and give me a like, you guys. Do you have any Cantarito cups? I got some from Mexico, and they're awesome, and they get really cold. Yes, the little ceramic cups. I do have some. Yeah, there was a gift set that I got, not the big Cantaritos like you can buy in tequila and stuff, but the small ones. When I bought some tequila, it came in a gift set. They sent me some clay Cantarito cups. But for those of you that don't know what a Cantarito is, it's like a Paloma. So it's basically grapefruit juice, tequila, lime, and orange juice. So just adding the orange juice in it makes it a Cantarito. If you don't add the orange juice, it's a Paloma. So they're very similar, but they're very delicious, easy to drink. And if you don't watch yourself when you're drinking Cantaritos, you can get pretty messed up. So, do you have any? Is Tequila Matchmaker still the best way to know what is additive free before I make my purchase? No, it's not. I wouldn't trust anything on there. If you want to know what's additive free, the best thing to do is to ask me or taste it. I mean, really, seriously. The Tequila Matchmaker app, some of the issues I have with that is a lot of information in there is wrong, and then it's pay to play on the additive free thing. So if there's a lot of brands out there that won't participate in anything that they do, but they're still additive free. So if you have a question about something and you're going shopping and you want to take a picture of the bottle and send it to me, DM it to me on Instagram or whatever, I can tell you whether you're good to go or not on it. A lot of times whether it's additive free, just from whether I tasted it or not. Or a lot of times if I know the distillery, I know whether they'll use additives or not too. So don't fall for the Tequila Matchmaker trap. It's just a marketing gimmick thing that they do, and I've never been a big fan of that. A lot of people in the tequila industry don't like it either. So I never bank on what they say or what they do, and I wouldn't recommend anybody else do to it. It's just a regular app that a guy did that is a good marketing tool for him. He makes money from it, and good for him. So I'm more about supporting the distilleries and stuff that do it, not forcing them to pay for things, but getting the information out to people. And then I want to do, I'm going to do a challenge too, where we're going to do a little education on finding additives. Okay. That's going to be fun, on finding additives in tequila and knowing whether there's additives or not in your tequila. So I'm going to do a blind challenge. Let's do it after the February 2nd one. Let's do a fun thing where I teach you guys how to stand on your own, right? You teach a person to fish, they'll eat forever, right? You buy a person to fish, they eat for a day. So I'm going to make it so you can become less reliable on paper, promotional gimmicks and stuff like Tequila Matchmaker, and you can learn how to taste whether there's additives and stuff yourself, because it's not that hard. It's not that hard. And now that the CRT is doing the Additive-free program, which that's the one I would recommend. Look for the CRT stuff when they start posting it, because they're the ones that know whether something's additive or free or not, and they're the ones that are the experts on that. So I recommend watching the CRT's Additive-free program if you want to look for that. But otherwise, you can ask me. I can tell you if you send me a picture of a bottle that you're interested in, I can tell you whether it's one I would recommend or not. And then look for the channel too. Search the channel. So don't get caught up in the marketing stuff, and don't. It's not good for you, and it's not good for the industry. It's not good for brands out there, because there's brands that don't want to participate in anything that they do, and I don't blame them. They don't want to pay. They don't see anybody at Tequila Matchmakers having any kind of authorization to do anything, because it's just basically a guy that moved to Mexico and said, I want to do this. That's all it is. So I don't like when people get too caught up on an app. What they created for that, it's great for some information. I found by using it that a lot of information there is incorrect, and so that's why I go directly to the master distiller and find out, because a lot of times I went to master distiller and said, this is what I got for production, is this correct? And they go, no. I'm like, oh, sorry, what's the correct thing? And so that's why I reach out to the master distillers and stuff, so to see what they're doing. So how do you send a picture? Just take a picture and DM it to me on Instagram. And then I'll tell you. I have people that do this every day. I have people that send me pictures on Instagram every day, and I'm willing to help you guys. I don't charge for this and stuff. I have people every day I don't know, I've never talked to, that send me, hey, Hombre, I just saw this in the store, and I was wondering, is this good? Would you recommend it? And then I'll tell them whether I've had experience with it or not, and whether I recommend picking it up. So that's what I do. I do that all the time. My wife sits there and goes, oh, gee, somebody else asked you about a tequila? Well, yeah, absolutely. And I'm more than happy to help you guys out. More than happy to answer questions for you guys about brands and stuff. And if I don't know anything about it, I'll find out. I'll ask. A lot of times I may know the master distiller that's working on it, or somebody at the brand, and I'll ask it for you. So, it's easy. Instagram's easy. Just go and you on Instagram, if you search Tequila Hombre, and then you'll see me, and it'll say message, and just send. So you click on that to send a message, and then just attach a photo to it, and then say, "Hey, Hombre, love to help. Was wondering about this tequila. What can you tell me about it?" Or even post it on the Discord, and everybody on the Discord can answer you too. But if you want me to answer in particular on the Discord, because Rob's on the Discord, you can post it to the Discord and say, "What do you know about this?" And you'll see people do that. Rob on the Discord on the Tequila Talk channel, or if it's a repo or whatever, they put it under the correct channel. But they'll say, "I just saw this in the store. Does anybody know anything about it?" And a lot of times I'll answer it and say, "Yeah, it's good," or "It's not good," or "It's really sweet. So if you like sweet tequilas, it's maybe something you want to get," or something along those lines. So that's what I would recommend. And one of the things to remember and keep in mind too, that additives you can't detect. You can't detect all the additives. So you can only detect some of the additives. Some of them can go undetected. So the best way to know whether there's additives in it is most likely by flavor profile. But still then, you're taking a chance. But most of the time, I'm pretty accurate because of what I know about the distillery. And I know they don't use additives. And then once you've tasted enough natural tequila, you'll know what it tastes like. And then when you stumble upon one that has additives, you go, "Okay, yeah, this is not a natural tequila." It steps outside of the natural tequila realm of what you're used to flavor profile wise. A lot of people make additives the boogeyman, so they think if something has a little more chocolate than normal, it has additives. But let me give you just a kind of like a farewell gift. When you open up a bottle and you're wondering whether something has additives, smell it. And if it smells like, all you smell is like cake, like it smells like super, like vanilla cake, then chances are there's additives in it. Because it should be some mixed, it should be nuanced, there should be complexity to it. And then when you taste it, if it just tastes super sweet and chocolatey, like cotton candy-ish cake, then chances are it's got additives too. Now, there are some exceptions to that. There are some exceptions in Cristalinos, because with Cristalinos, when they do carbon filtering, a lot of times it filters out the larger flavor molecules for like tequila and stuff, but it will leave some of the smaller wood molecules in there. So you can taste some Cristalinos that have been cold filtered where it will taste a little cupcakey and chocolatey, but it doesn't necessarily mean they use additives, because I know some that don't use additives, but it has a little bit of a cupcake-ish chocolate vanilla-esque kind of note to it. But I know the brand, the distillery does not use that. They're adamantly against additives. But they made Cristalinos because people in Mexico like them, and they want to sell them, and they want to have an offering for people in Mexico. So that, there you go. You know that stuff. So that's the easiest way to tell. But without knowing, without tasting it, it's hard to do it looking at the shelf. So if you take a picture of it and send it to me, I'll let you know what I know about it and whether I personally would buy it or not. Because I will tell you directly whether it's something that I would spend my money on, and then you can make a determination if it's something you want to spend your money on. Fair enough? All right, it's been an hour and a half, you guys. I've had a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys have too. Thank you for spending this day with me today. We'll see you again in another week. I will get some reviews out for you guys, so make sure you watch the reviews and support the channel that way. And if you have questions or comments during the reviews, I'd love to hear from you. I always love hearing from you guys. And like I always say, life is too short to drink bad tequila, so keep following my reviews. Keep coming here to the podcasts and learning about tequila, and you'll make great choices. And I'm glad to help you. Okay. And until next time, salute. Bye, guys. Have a great